retired military general, that is retired Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke Mapranga, on his social media account has written that the downfall of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa would be spared by his desire or by a miscalculation to fire a retired General Chiwenga. And we are seeing the faction of retired General Chiwenga mounting numerous missiles ever since they have unearthed the plan as well as the plot by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa to fire Chiwenga, not directly but indirectly, in a way he would not see it coming. And there is seemingly massive reaction that will keep us busy today, trying to make sense of what is happening in Zimbabwe at the moment. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So this is what has been, I'll try also to read his reaction after this regarding the intelligence assessment report that is in circulation as we are speaking. So he says, Mnangagwa's biggest mistake, the one that history will record as the beginning of his downfall, is his decision to move against General Constantino Chiwenga. General Chiwenga is not just a man, he is the one who, together with other patriots, stood firm when the revolution was being hijacked. He is the soldier who ensured the transition in 2017 so that the people's will could prevail. To turn against such a comrade, to sideline him, to strip his influence, or to fire him from key roles is not clever politics. It is an act of supreme folly that will shake the very foundations of the system that brought this administration to power. No leader survives by alienating that very institution and individuals who echoed his rise. The army is not a personal tool to be purged at will. It is the guardian of the nation's sovereignty, born from the same trenches as the liberation struggle. When you start removing or humiliating those who command respect within the ranks, you invite instability. You create fractures that enemies of Zimbabwe, both internally and externally, will exploit. I have warned before about attempts to extend terms against the spirit of the Constitution and the will of the people. Now, this latest folly compounds it. Firing or systematically undermining General Chiwenga will not secure power. It will accelerate its loss. The soldiers remember. The war veterans remember. The people remember who stood when it mattered the most. Mr. President, if you are listening, stop this path. It leads to the legacy, but it leads not to legacy, but to regret. Zimbabwe does not belong to one man or one faction. It belongs to all of us who shed blood for it. Respect the institutions, respect your comrades in arms, respect the Constitution. The downfall that follows such mistake will not be caused by outsiders. It will come from within the very forces you are now alienating. Aluta continue. The struggle for a truly free, just, and constitutional Zimbabwe continues. Retired Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke Mapranga, war veteran, son of the soil, voice of the unfinished revolution. Before I actually unpack this, let me also read his comment on the document that I dealt with. Of course, I'm still coming to read some more documents rather than the ones that have been shared. It says, fellow Zimbabweans, comrades of the liberation struggle, men and women who still believe in the sacred oath we took to defend the Constitution and the sovereignty of our people. I have received intelligence from close and reliable sources within the corridors of power. The report is clear and chilling. Mnangagwa plans to sign the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Cap 3 Madness into law and then resign within 7 to 14 days, or immediately use the new provisions to dissolve the cabinet. This is not reform. This is a calculated legal maneuver designed to systematically remove General Constantino Chiwenga from the new government structure, install second Vice President Kembo Mohati as temporal interim president, and then rush a parliamentary vote within 30 days to install First Lady Auxilia Mnangagwa as president by 31 July 2026. Mnangagwa is playing with fire, the same fire Robert Gabriel Mugabe tried to light in his final desperate years. We all remember what happened when a leader begins to treat the Constitution as his personal property and the succession process as a family inheritance. Cap 3 was sold to the nation as a harmless technical adjustment. In reality, it changes the rules of the game at the very moment the president intends to trigger a vacancy. By altering how the next president is chosen, and then creating that vacancy through resignation or cabinet dissolution. The plan seeks to bypass the people, sideline the first vice president who helped bring the current administration to power in 2017, and hand the highest office to the first lady through a controlled parliamentary vote. This is not statesmanship. This is constitutional engineering for personal and dynastic survival. It disrespects the blood that was shed to end one-man rule. It insults every soldier who believed we were building a republic where no individual or family would be above the supreme law. I say this plainly as an old soldier who has seen these games before. You do not amend the Constitution to extend your stay and then immediately resign to install your spouse. You do not dissolve the cabinet to fire your own first vice president through legal trickery. You do not turn parliament into a rubber stamp to crown a first lady while the people watch from the sidelines. The 2017 intervention was never meant to replace one form of personal rule with another. It was meant to restore constitutional order and give Zimbabweans a chance at genuine renewal. I call on every member of parliament who still has a conscience, every war veteran who remembers why we fought, every member of the security services who sought to defend the Constitution, and every ordinary Zimbabwean who loves his country. Watch these developments with open eyes. Do not be deceived by technical language or last-minute reforms. Power that is grabbed through the back door of constitutional manipulation never ends well. I remain, as I have always been, a soldier for the people and for the Constitution, not for any individual nor family. Retired Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke Mapranga, war veteran, son of the soil. Zimbabwe will not be turned into a family business, not on our watch, not while soldiers still draw breath. God bless the Republic of Zimbabwe. So this was the retired general. But you know, many statements being issued. Mnangagwa is advancing. Are they going to continue issuing statements and fall whilst issuing statements? That remains the mind-boggling question. I think that should be really underscored, that statements do not help the situation. action helps the situation. Now, the period where we are at the moment, it calls for action. It calls for men. It calls actually for women of action rather than actually long sounding statement. The period is for action because Mnangagwa is acting and he is advancing. So according to the general, he says an attempt to remove retired General Chiwenga, it will determine the mastery of retired General Chiwenga. He says it will determine his downfall, but to me, I say it will determine the mastery of retired General Chiwenga, because if he is removed and nothing, that's the end. That is the end. Unfortunately, there is absolutely nothing that can be done. If he's removed and there is no retaliation, Mnangagwa installs his wife as the next president of Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans will continue languishing in poverty with no promise of a better future. Will Chiwenga faction come this time around to the aid of the people of Zimbabwe? That is the mind-boggling question. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okancubo Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and live. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast, definitely, as I try